Humans generally do not live alone, isolated from each other. Instead, individuals tend to live in communities with other people, related by ethnicity, nationality, religion, or some other cultural element. A human society is a group of people who share a common lifestyle and organization. Human societies can be classified in many different ways, depending on who is doing the categorizing. For example, anthropologists generally use the group's method of subsistence to define them. If members of the group survive by hunting animals and gathering plants to eat, then anthropologists classify their group as a hunter-gatherer society. If the people tend to raise animals for meat, blood, or milk, then the society is called pastoralist. More stationary societies who grow crops to harvest are named agriculturalist, and those societies can eventually evolve into industrialized agriculturalist with the advent and implementation of fossil fuel-based technologies. By contrast, political scientists tend to categorize societies by their political structure. Who's in charge matters. Bands have loose organization and informal leadership traditions, often defaulting to the elders to make decisions and guide the youngsters. Tribes have a more structured society, heavily based on kinship relationships. Larger and more complex societies, called chiefdoms, involve multiple extended families under the control of one relatively permanent leader. Finally, the most complex political organization is called a state, which began making its appearance around 10,000 years ago, around the same time as the agricultural revolution. Sociologists bring all of these elements together to examine the ways that different groups of people manage their technologies, natural resources, and manpower. Thus, societies can be either pre-industrial, industrial, or post-industrial, depending on how they are organized, how they subsist, and how the resources are divided amongst the entire population. Pre-industrial societies accounted for the majority of all human societies until the 18th century. Agriculturally based, these rural societies tended to be fairly small and limited in their contact with other societies. There were a few social classes, and individuals were not socially mobile. If you were born to an artisan, then you became an artisan. Industrial societies arose in Western Europe and then the United States beginning in the late 18th century as the Industrial Revolution spread the idea and the technology of mass production. Using fossil fuels to massively increase the rate and scale of production, industrial societies could increase the carrying capacity of their land. More food equals more people. Specifically, more people were moving off of their farms and into new urban cities